video, we're going to take a look at a pretty common Calc 1 question. It says find the absolute max and absolute min values of f of x equals 10 plus 27x minus x to the third on that interval from 0 to 4. Now note it is a closed interval, and when that's a closed interval and we're trying to find absolute max and absolute mins, we are looking at the extreme value theorem. So even though that is not mentioned in the problem anywhere, it is an extreme value theorem problem. All right, which means what do we need to do? We need to calculate the derivative. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. And when I calculate that derivative there, I'm going to have a 27 minus a 3x squared. All right, from there, we need to find our critical points. So we're going to take that 27 minus 3x squared and set it equal to 0. Okay, then we're going to have a 27 is equal to 3x squared. Divide both sides by 3. We get 9 equals x squared. So then x is going to equal plus or minus 3. All right, these are my critical points. All right, now in the extreme value theorem, it says that our absolute max and absolute min is either going to be located at these critical points or at the endpoints of the interval. So from here as a second step, basically I just need to test all my candidates. All right, the AP test generally calls this the candidate test. So I am going to plug in my 0 and 4 because those are my end points. All right, so let's note that. Those are the end points. All right, now I also am going to plug in my critical points. Now, notice that I've got a plus or minus 3. All right, negative 3 is not in the interval. So x equals negative 3 is not in my closed interval from 0 to 4. All right, so for that reason, I will not put that in and test it because it's not in the interval. So I'm going to include just the positive 3 in my chart here, and then that will be, let's label this as a critical point then. Okay, so both 0 and 4 are the endpoints. 3 is the critical point, the only critical point that I'm going to test. All right, and then from here, after I calculate these, I will plug them into my f of x function. When I plug in 0 there, I'm going to get a 10. When I plug in 4, I'm going to get a 54. And when I plug in 3, I'm going to get a 64. All right, now from here, then I can see that I'm going to have a minimum value at that 0, 10, and I'm going to have a maximum value at the 364. All right, so let's summarize that and write that as a final answer here. So I'm going to have a minimum at the ordered pair 0, 10. I'm going to have a maximum at the ordered pair 364. Okay, so this is a pretty straightforward question asked in a Calc 1 class. All right, finding those absolute maxes and absolute mins on a given function on a closed interval. And as soon as you see that closed interval and they're asking for the absolute max and min, then you should be thinking extreme value theorem. All right, it pretty much runs these steps right here. You calculate that derivative, you find your critical points. Then you test all endpoints and all critical points that fall in that interval in a standard XY table, and from there you can then locate your mins and maxes. Definitely thanks for watching. If the videos are helping, please share with your friends so they can benefit too, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks.